It's just more than a week until Election Day. One of the competitive local races takes center stage this morning. Alexandra Compere and Leroy Edwards join us. They're facing off in the Clay County Commission race to represent the Oakleaf area. We're taking your questions directly to the candidates on This Week in Jacksonville. Thanks for being with us today. Early voting began last week in many counties in our area. That includes Clay County, where early voting opened just Friday and it goes until November 5th. So we are focused on Clay this morning with a look at County Commission race in District 2. All but one of Clay County's elected offices, county commission, school board seats, a county judge, those were decided in the August primary when one candidate received more than 50% of the vote. The only county government position on the ballot is County Commission District 2. Alexandra Compere, the winner of the Republican primary, faces Democrat Leroy Edwards in the general election. And very glad to say that Ms. Compere and Mr. Edwards are with us today in studio. And this is not a strict debate, but we are going to have a conversation on the big issues. Ms. Compere, if you would start maybe a minute or so, just to introduce yourself to the voters.
Well, sure. Thank you so much for having me today. It's a real pleasure. I'm excited to be here. A little bit about myself. I'm the daughter of immigrants. My parents moved here from Haiti back in the 80s and 90s in search for a better life. They raised all 6 of their children to believe the same thing, that here in America, with a little bit of determination and a lot of hard work, you can do just about anything. And so I took them up on it. I graduated high school, college, went on to law school, and have been practicing in the Northeast Florida region for the last 5 years. One of the questions I get on the campaign trail quite often is, why are you doing this? You're in your 30s, you're in your prime, why this? And for me, I think it boils down to, I love Clay County. I was born and raised here in Clay, and I've been involved civically since my teenage years. And I thought what I would use along the way for the benefit of the county was the natural next step.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Edwards, why don't you introduce yourself? Again, about a minute to tell people who you are and why you're running.
My name is Leroy Edwards, and I grew up in Miami. Most of my years in Miami, I went to Miami Technical High School. Didn't went to college like Miss Compere. Nice of you. But I'm here working. I work for UPS, and I'm married to my wife, Althea Edwards, for 34 years now with 3 kids, and we live here in Clay County.
And decided that you were going to jump in and run in this seat. So let's talk about this. This area covered by District 2. We're going to show you a map here. It's seen in blue on the map here that we're going to show you. District 2 there, State Route 23 goes right through the middle of it. Blanding Boulevard, that's the southeastern border. Begins at the northern boundary of Clay and includes Oakleaf, Plantation, Ridgeview High School, part of the district as well. Mr. Edwards, why don't you start here? What are your views on if you were to represent this part of the county, what are your views on identifying funding for a growing county, such as impact fees, sales tax, that sort of thing?
The first thing I would like to do is recognize where the residential different from commercial. Most of Clay County, what they're doing right now is inviting a lot of home builders, which I spoke to the county commissioner a lot of times about. They say we need to invite investors to come in and set up shop and employ locally. We can't continue to just build house, and house. It's just not good for the economy of Clay County and District 2.
You think that's specific to that Oakleaf community, too much residential building there?
Too much residential building there without having businesses, good businesses.
Yeah. Ms. Compere, yes, go ahead.
95% of Clay County District 2 people work outside of the county to pay their mortgage inside of the county, which to me don't make much sense because a lot of people want to work closer to home.
Sure, where they live or near where they live.
Near where they live.
Ms. Compere, kind of same question. Your views on identifying funding for the growing county, because clearly, and District 2 especially, but Clay County is growing.
Yes, it is. Florida in general has drawn a lot of attention nationwide, and there are a lot of people growing or coming to Clay County, and it's growing exponentially. How we identify funding is very interesting, because at the County Commission meeting this Tuesday, the county commissioners were discussing this. Specifically, they brought up impact fees, which is bringing a lot of attention, especially among the development community. Those impact fees, as I understand it, would be developing our libraries, our parks, and it would only apply to new residents moving in. The Lake Asbury part of the county is growing by leaps and bounds right now with homes. And so we're the county is definitely taking a look at how do we measure the growth and do that responsibly, but also making sure that the funds are there. So conversations like impact fees being imposed is definitely in the equation.
Ms. Compere, I'll start with you on this. What's your opinion about using federal money, federal grants, to try and support what Clay County is doing?
Oh, well, first and foremost, federal dollars, those are taxpayer dollars. And so the county has mentioned there's an interest in seeking out those federal grants. However, the county is very selective about which grants to apply for. It needs to be balanced in terms of making sure that the grants that we seek out are actually helping the community, because you know as well as most that there will be strings attached. And so if there are strings, what does that look like for the community? It can't outweigh the benefit that it would actually bring to Clay County.
Mr. Edwards, I'd love to hear your opinion on this. Using federal grants, do you support this? Is this a good idea for Clay County?
What Ms. Compere said, yes, it's true. Yes, you can use federal grants. It all depends on what you're going to use it for. As what he said, a lot of strings come when you use federal grants. I would think if you're using federal grants, you more want to use it like for a federal thing, like a post office or things like that we need in Oakleaf area, in District 2. Because the post office from me is like maybe 30 miles away.
From where you're at?
From where I'm at, it's 30 miles away or more. A postman, I'll give you a story. A postman came to my house and he left something on my door to come pick up a mail. I have to travel all the way up Argyle, south and Blanding, then take Kingsley to go by with the post office, which is 30 miles away. We've been promised a post office since 2006 here in Clay County, District 2, and it have never arrived.
All right, I appreciate that. So while we're talking about some of this stuff, what about your view on what's, I guess, one area of the county's services where you feel you need additional funding? If there were additional resources to become available, what's that area you'd say, that's what I want that money for?
Okay, if we have additional funding, where I will pinpoint, right, is we have 400 square miles of dirt road here in Clay County. I would think pave some of those roads. A lady sent me an email and said, Mr. Leroy, can you come over to the dirt road people and look at how we live? And some of them are still using burn drums, they're still using solar. They're just not living right. And some of those money we could use to invest, like give them a better road, bring in good water to their community and so forth.
All right, thank you. Ms. Compere, about that, is there an area that government could help in Clay County if you had just a little bit more money, more resources to do it?
Yeah, I think that there are a couple of different ways that we could allocate the funds. I believe that the government's #1 responsibility is public safety. And so we're looking at how we can equip and train our law enforcement, our first responders, to be able to reach every part of the county. When I last looked at the numbers, I think we're at 62, 63 in terms of public funding towards public safety. I think that that's a concern. And as we grow, that was one of your first questions. If we're growing in Clay County, the infrastructure needs to be there. With our law enforcement, our first responders, making sure that we have the schools in place to address that growth. To Mr. Edwards' point, we do have roads that need to be paved in Clay. However, a lot of those roads are private, and I don't think that the taxpayers should be paying for private roads. Now, the ones that are not private, there is a system in place, and what I would bring to the board is seeing how we can get some of those roads that are in District 2 specifically to be at the top of that list, because it's a need. However, there is a process in place for that.
The public roads, not the private.
Right.
All right, well, we're just getting started here. When we come back, questions directly from you, our viewers, that we will ask these candidates here concerning the race for Clay County Commission District 2. That's next on This Week in Jacksonville.
I want to clear up a few things about lost wages and lost future earnings. Even if you go back to work after the accident, but your injuries cause you to earn less money than you did before, you may be entitled to that loss of income. That can easily be 6 or 7 figures. We can also go after any loss to your 401k or other benefits. At Farah and Farah, we'll fight for everything you've lost. And I mean everything. Protecting you and your family is what we say, because it's what we do.
In every election, your voice matters.
And News4JAX is making sure you are heard.
What's important to you?
Voters I talked to did understand.
We'll take your questions directly to the candidates.
Holding them accountable and putting their answers through the Trust Index.
And giving you an easy-to-use voter's guide with all the local races that matter to you.
Vote.
Vote. Vote.
Vote 2022.
Your voice matters.
Whiskey, Wine, and Wildlife. Presented by Publix, November 4th through 6th. Tickets include over 200 varieties of unlimited wine, beer, and spirit samples, and unlimited tasting bites from over 20 of Northeast Florida's best local and celebrity chefs. Enjoy live music, cooking stages, wildlife demonstrations, and more. All in beautiful Volano Beach. Save $10 on Friday and Saturday tickets with promo code WJXT10. Visit whiskeywineandwildlife.com.
ET starts now.
That's gonna go viral.
You're just gonna have to wait and see.
We're going behind the scenes.
There's a lot more to come.
No, just
Mind blown.
This is like a dream.
Welcome to Entertainment Tonight.
Weeknights at 7 on Channel 4, the local station.
City Rescue Mission Shoeboxes of Love is a holiday project to help the homeless. It's an easy way for families, schools, and businesses to get involved. Fill a shoebox with travel-sized personal care items like soap, deodorant, then wrap the box in a new blanket. Donations can be dropped off at Channel 4, Closets by Design, or City Rescue Mission on McDuff Avenue. You can find the addresses of our locations and a list of suggested items on news4jax.com.
Peekaboo, my secret cams see you. News4JAX, keeping your family safe, giving away voyeurs' secrets.
If I'm in the shower, it's pointed right at me. I'll take you room by room, showing you tricks to spotting the spies.
Oh my gosh, it's so tiny.
And testing whether these devices deliver on their promise to protect you from hiding eyes.
Secret cams, Tuesday starting at 5 on News4JAX. You're watching This Week in Jacksonville with Kent Justice.
Thanks for staying with us today. We're joined by the Republican and the Democrat facing off in Clay County's Commission District 2 race. Leroy Edwards and Alexandra Compere. So as we've been visiting this morning, I wanted to make sure you knew, as part of our changes in our covering elections, we're committed to making your voices heard. So we call it Your Voice Matters. We ask viewers to tell us what they want to hear from the candidates. And so News4JAX viewer Charles Knight wants to know, what would you do to bring good paying jobs to Clay County? Mr. Edwards, why don't you answer that first for us?
First, you got to introduce or invite good-paying jobs to come in to look at what the land you have and the space they're going to get to build their business. With Clay County commissioners that we have now, they are not doing that. All they are bringing in is just houses. I challenge them all the time to invite businesses to come in. We cannot grow a county without having business. Building all these houses without business just don't make much sense. There's no sense in that. So we have to invite big businesses to come in to set up shop.
Sure. Mr. Edwards, give me an example, and what would the invite be? How would you bring in that big business to set up shop?
How would you bring in that business now is like, normally when you, not necessarily with a flyer, but you will invite, like on your website or whatever you do, just like you do for the investors, just for the home builders. You do the same thing for the home builders, you can do it for businesses. And they will take the invitation and come in and see what you have and see the land that's there available and see where they're going to build it and so forth.
All right, Ms. Compere, Charles Knight wants to know what you would say. What would you do to bring good-paying jobs to Clay County?
Well, I think that in Clay County in general, we have a lot of ways to market our county. We have 3 large hospitals in Clay County. And so if we are painting a picture that the medical industry can have a platform here, that's one way. You work with the resources that you already have. We're nice people in Clay. I know that the business industry knows that we're here. However, we are competing with St. Johns County and Duval County, and St. Johns County has 2 hospitals and they have 50,000 more people than we do. And so I really do think that, especially with the medical industry, you can invite businesses here. The other thing is Oakleaf is in District 2 and the Cecil Commerce Center is right outside of Clay County, right? And the expressway is so close, it connects us virtually, it connects us. And so reaching out to Cecil Commerce Center and developing a partnership with them, it would be very important. One of the questions that I get quite often is congestion, right? Partnering with our regional business leaders makes sense because those business leaders have transitioned quite a bit since COVID, such that they have a hybrid schedule. So you bring in large companies that offer salaries that are higher earning, but you don't have as much congestion because most of those employees are working from home a couple of days of the week.
Yeah, it's really changed over those last couple of years.
It has.
So I want to give you another question from one of our viewers, News for Jack's viewer, Jackie. She owns a business in Oakleaf, and she says construction really can impede access to the businesses. It costs small businesses money. So Jackie wants to know, can't a project be worked on twice as hard so the construction takes half as long to complete? Alexandra, why don't you start?
That's a great question. I would love for the construction to happen quicker. However, a lot of those projects aren't being handled specifically by the county commission, and we could definitely encourage them, maybe even incentivize them to move quicker. However, a lot of that, I would hate to claim that the county commission is responsible for doing that and expediting the process, but I agree with Jackie. It does take quite a bit of time.
Yeah. Leroy Edwards, what would you say to Jackie about this?
The same thing I almost say what Ms. Compere is saying. You cannot speed up the construction company to work faster than they can.
Want to?
We want to, yes, we do want to, but there's nothing we can do until they finish if we employ them to do a job. I'd love for them to finish so I could go through myself and Jackie could go do what she have to do. And we can go take less than 2 hours to get to 2 miles. But if they are doing something that's going to help us down the road, we just have to wait on them. There's nothing we can do.
Yeah, it's the price of progress, they say, but it can be pretty frustrating all the way around. One more question for this segment before we take a commercial break. Mr. Edwards, this is in our voter's guide. We asked candidates 3 questions, and so let's walk through at least the first one of those. Mr. Edwards, what do you see as the top 3 issues you would likely face while holding this office if you were elected?
Okay, if I'm elected, one of the first things I'm going to work on is the infrastructure of Clay County. In rush hour, you don't want to be on Blandon Boulevard. And the new expressway they built, I probably wouldn't build that. It take a little bit just from the connection from Jack's but not that much. The second thing I probably would work on is, would pique my interest is our Clay County Fire and Police Department, because they have to keep us safe.
Yeah.
So we will invest in the police and fire. My third thing would be schools. Young families coming into Clay County, and Clay County is growing. We need to build more schools so we don't have overcrowded schools, so we don't have to, like what we're doing now, people who live in District 2 have to go to District 3 High School. Yeah. You live closer to Oakleaf High School, but you have to go to Orange Park High School because of overcrowded and who get on the list first. So that would be my third thing. My fourth thing would be our recycle, our trash pickup, and our garbage. One of the things that I hear a lot from Clay County when I walk the street on campus sometimes is Clay County have 95,271 homes here in Clay County. Each home pay approximately $76 on their recycle pickup. The county is collecting over $6 million a year. You can do the numbers. And we are not getting the service.
It's not what taxpayers are paying for, is what you're saying.
Yeah, taxpayers are paying for, and we're not getting the service. It's a shame.
Thank you. Ms. Compere, the question on our voter's guide, what do you see as the top 3 issues that you'd likely face while holding this office, if elected?
Yes, if elected, growth. Number 1, public safety and quality of life. I think those are the 3 issues that we would see. Growth, because Clay County it's not a question of whether Clay County will grow. It's happening right now. And so how are we addressing that? Is it smart? Is it responsible? Are we being deliberate with the decisions that we're making? What is the economic impact? So growth for sure. Public safety specific to District 2 because of our proximity to Duval County. There are some things that we've been seeing, and it's very important, especially to my district, that safety is something that we're taking a closer look at. And then, of course, the last one, quality of life. It boils down a lot to infrastructure. Are we making sure that our roads are maintained, are improved? Are we making sure that our fire and safety have the equipment and the training that they need? Are we looking at the infrastructure in place? Are we able to address those concerns? Mr. Edwards brings up about recycling. One of the things that did come up last year was that for the resources that we were paying for, it was outlined on our taxes, our property taxes actually, that there was a rebate. And as I understand it, an RPOF has been, or rather, a request for proposals has been submitted so that we can take a look at that. Specifically as an attorney, I'd be looking at the contract and making sure that it is a benefit to the constituents of Clay County, what services are being rendered for them, especially as it relates to recycling.
I appreciate that. And I appreciate our visit. We're going to come back, all right? We're going to have one more segment, and stay with us in our final segment. We're trying to get you ready for Election Day in Clay County. We'll hear some closing thoughts from these candidates. That's next on This Week in Jacksonville.
Do you want to sell your home as is for cash in as little as 5 days? Meridian Trust is a must. Are you facing costly repairs, relocation, downsizing, inherited property, problem tenants, and need cash for your property with no hidden fees, commissions, or closing costs? Meridian Trust is a must. For a fast, easy, and safe way to sell your home, you guessed it, Meridian Trust is a must. Call now or visit us online at meridiantrust.com.
Jimmy, I'm trusting you.
Come on, Callie, get up there. You know you can trust me. Get climbing. I got you, Callie.
Jimmy, I think I'm ready to come down now. Hey, Jimmy. Jimmy! Wow, Doc Tony, you are the doctor we can trust.
Yes, I am. Injured in a car accident? Call the doctor you know you can trust. That's me, Doc Tony, at 1-800-DOC-TONY. Remember, Jacksonville, I'm more than a catchy number. I'm real.
Let me know if you ready to get dollars, holla, cause we wildin' out. If you want it ready, steady, go. Fight the good fight because this is war. Born for greatness, man. Rah, rah. Born for greatness, man.
Donate $15 to honor a fallen hero. During the holidays, the Civil Air Patrol partners with wreaths across America to place wreaths on graves at Jacksonville National Cemetery. You can help by donating $15 to sponsor a wreath. Find out more at capjacks.org.
Nominate someone you know who is making a positive impact in our community. Go to news4jax.com/positively-jax.
What would it be like to have a kid fly around like a Superman? I'd be the hero, save the day every hour with your friends. Yeah, I would be so powerful, I could have a kid fly around like I'm Superman. I'd be the hero.
You're watching This Week in Jacksonville on Channel 4.
Early voting is underway in Clay County. You'll also have a chance to vote on Election Day, November 8th. Alexandra Compere and Leroy Edwards have hopes that you'll vote for them when it comes to County Commission District 2. So as we go into this final segment, Mr. Edwards, if you take a moment and just kind of give what I would say a closing argument, tell people in Clay County why they should vote for you.
Okay, my name is Leroy Edwards, and I moved into Clay County 2006. My wife and family. My kids get educated at every single level of education in Clay County High School. I walk the neighborhood, I talk to people. A matter of fact, every single teacher, both the high school and the junior high school, past and present, can tell they know Leroy Edwards and his family. I've been to every association meeting, every CDD meeting. When I was doing my petition, I walk the street, I hear from the people directly what they want, and I transmit it back to them on my political page. So I think it's clear choice. It's clear choice when it comes to voting. Vote Leroy Edwards for County Commissioner, District 2.
All right, thank you very much. Ms. Compere.
Yes, well, can I just say thank you for having me today. It's been a pleasure. District 2, I have had so much fun getting out, meeting you. We have been thrilled for the enthusiasm, the support. To vote for me is a vote for your values, to make sure that we are ensuring the quality of life in Clay County to be high. I'm excited to be on your ballot. I do need your support. It has been a long ride, but we have had a tremendous success hearing from you and addressing your concerns. And I would be honored to have your support, to be your voice on the County Commission. Please vote for me November 8th.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate just getting to knock some of those issues around that are specific to not just Oakleaf, but certainly that area and Clay County in general. Thank you so much for your efforts to represent the people there, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch this. We've also got a voter's guide online on news4jax.com that you'll be able to find out more about what these candidates and others have to say. Well, News4Jax political analyst Rick Mullaney is with me next time as we get you ready for election night. Plus, we're trying to learn more about both candidates running to be Florida's agriculture commissioner. We are chasing those things down for you in this next week as well. This week in Jacksonville, and we'll be back to our regular Sunday morning time next week. I'm Kent Justice. Thanks for watching on air on Channel 4 and the CW17. You'll also find us online at news4jax.com or streaming on News4Jax Plus.
Every day, more people are choosing News4Jax, Northeast Florida and South Georgia's #1 source for local news.